Good afternoon, everyone. It is September 14th, Sunday. It's been a while since I've thrown out a little weekly watch list out there, right? So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is El Trader Oof. Um, so just gonna go ahead and give you guys a little things that I'm gonna be go ahead looking for, a couple plays. Just gonna be posting on YouTube. So we're going to go ahead dive right into it. And first one that we're going to go ahead and review is, of course, is SPY, right? So SPY overall right now, currently last Friday, made new all-time highs. Basically all last week, right? We're making all-time highs from Thursday up going into Friday, right? So that's going to be something that we're looking at going into this week with the Fed decision, right? So we do have Fed rate decision on Wednesday and Thursday. So that's going to be something that we're going to be watching for here on SPY. So will we make new all-time highs before we reach up until Wednesday, or are we just going to sideways action or have a nice little pullback going into Wednesday, right? So that's going to be something that of course we are going to be watching on SPY. So if we go ahead and go into our hourly time frame, a couple areas that I'm watching for on my hourly time frame, of course, going into Monday is sort of watching to see if we're going to go ahead and break above Friday's high, right? Which is going to be roughly 659.10. As we can see there, we already got it marked off. And of course, we're going to be watching if we break below right around Thursday's pop up. We held right around here at these 656.64s, right? So that's the area that I'm looking forward to see if we break below that going into Monday as well. So break either or of these levels. Break this level here that we have, this 656.64s slash 60s. Of course, I'm going to be looking for roughly a 1 point move to the downside, so roughly a 656 put. Just a quick little move to the downside, right? Initially, we do get that pop. Won't be surprised if we do go ahead and test into that 660, 654, 655 area, right? For puts to the downside. Now, if we do break above Friday's high, I'm just going to be probably just looking at a 650, not 650, sorry, 660 call to the upside, right? So roughly almost a 1 point move. So if we do break above that, right, we're going to be looking to sort of see buyers continue to push higher and make new all-time highs, right? So that's the reason being for that call and put. Break above this area for calls, break below that area for puts to the downside. So next one that I'm also watching will be Neo. So this play here, Neo, I called this out in our Discord for Alpha Stocks Lab, and I initially what the idea behind this is we sort of want to see if this can sort of play out as a falling wedge, right? So if this can play out here up to the upside going into this week, initially we would love to see us start to break above this 630s, right? As you can see there, start to break above and sort of target to this area, right? So that's the whole idea behind this trade here that was given here on Discord. As we can see, Neo, since right around those threes, right? Those threes, we can see these threes held up nicely going here forward, right? Go here, right here, those 330s holds. You can see that. That holds right around that area. Has a nice little pop up. Nice little almost same thing that we're seeing up here, right? So that's something that we're going to be watching here on here to see if we can sort of get that same move here, right? So going to the upside. So this play was given here in Discord. So initially what we're looking for here on this is roughly a $6.50 to $7 call with the expiration date of 9/26. So with that being said, that gives us 12 days to sort of see if Neo can sort of target up into that area. if this can play out in our favor, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for here on NEO going into this week. Next one that we're going to be watching as well is going to be LMFA. Another one that was given in the Discord roughly right around this 115 is where I alerted this play. Reason why I alerted this play here is going to be because on the bigger picture, right, our daily time frame, we can clearly see what seems to be a double bottom bounce, right? Roughly these $1, this $1 area held up nicely. Now here we're seeing how it's attempting here to round bottom it, and sort of try to attempt to have a gap fill here to the upside. So that's the whole idea behind this trade here, is that double bottom play on the daily picture, this gap up here. So will this gap up here act as a magnet? And then another thing on the daily time frame, what can we see? It's roughly in the area of that 200 EMA. So what we're going to be looking at is this 200 EMA and this gap up here to sort of act as magnets to have price action follow up to the upside, right? Another thing is that we want to see this price action go up higher if Bitcoin does continue to go up high, right? Mind you, this is going to be a mining company, so that's what we're looking at for that, right? Last month they mined 5.8 Bitcoin, right? Raising their holdings up to 311 Bitcoin, right? So that's all this that we have on this, right? So based off all of that we know, and then mining those coins last month and all this, right? So we want to see this start to go up higher. Our entry from 115, we are already up a good amount. So that's initially where we're going to be looking here into this week. Initially for this week, we're going to be looking for roughly a break above into these 135. So if we can start to break above here into the 135s and then start to roughly break these 140s, right? I do believe that we can start to have momentum here, as we can see here as well. Those 140s lies right around my 20 EMA, right? So we're already trading above my 5 EMA based off the daily, right? Based off Friday's close, full body candle close above that 5 EMA. So can we start to see price action continue here higher on that? So, and last but not least is going to be Bank of America. Bank of America, I personally love this stock overall. You cannot go wrong with a banking company such as Bank of America, right? Bank of America has been along for a long time. You know, most of us might have a Bank of America account. So this is in my IRA as well. So dividends as well. So, and as we can see based off the daily time frame, right? Look at this. We've just been in a strong uptrend. And in my IRA, I bought last year right around, let's see, right around these lows of 24s and 25s. So I've just been riding this puppy here to the upside, right? It's a banking company. Remember, banks will most likely not go broke, right? They always find some type of way to come out on top. So that being said, Bank of America, 52-week high, right? Based off Thursday's high of 50.96. So going forward, of course, that's what we're looking at going into this week. Can we start to make a new 52-week high and continue to break here to the upside? So of course we have that marked off there, right? And if we look back, right? Because when you're in doubt, zoom out, right? Let's go ahead, zoom, right? You can see how price action goes very far back, right? So because it goes all the way back there, and now we go into our daily time frame, not our daily time frame, our weekly time frame, and we can see that our last all-time high wasn't up until 2006, right? Which is right around that 55 area. So with us being right around this area of these 51s, that's what we're looking for here on Bank of America, guys. So that this might be your gem for this week, right? Or even for a long-term option play, swing play, whatever you would like to do with this. So that's what we're looking for here on Bank of America, is to break above that, right? Look at that weekly time frame. Look at these candles. That's a beautiful place setup for a breakout to the upside. Rejected here, 50.96, 50.96 again, right? So third time's the charm. So have we break to the upside. So will we get that into this week? So going into this week, these 51s, 51.50s, hey, those look enticing. Look at the volume on the 52.50. 21 open interest. The delta is at 0.756. Data is at 0.15, right? So that might be a nice little gem play for you guys. So keep an eye out on that, guys. So if you guys want to catch more of my plays, I will drop a link of our Discord down below in the comments and join our family over at Alpha Stock Labs. We have a lot of things that are going on. We have options, swing plays, day trades, long-term futures, and all of this. So click and subscribe, and of course share. And thank you guys for watching. Guys, have a great evening, and let's have a great week this week with FOMC, and let's see what they do.